Okay, guys, Love is Blind UK. I've watched all of the episodes now. I'm up to date, and I thought let me just share some of my views on some of these couples. Now, I personally don't believe Love is Blind. I think the premise of the show, I think we're going into a territory of reality TV that is really kind of dangerous. But because it's the UK version, because people are talking about it, I thought let me just take a look and see, okay? And first couple on the docket is Stephen and Sabrina. Now, out of all of the couples that I watched on the show, from the pods to the marriage ceremony, these two had the least amount of problems in my opinion, okay? Yeah, they don't live in the same country. I think she's from Northern Ireland. I think she was from Northern Ireland, and he's I think from London. Okay, or he lives in London. So obviously that's a far bit away. Not too far. It's an hour on the plane. But they just seem to take this thing seriously. Like they got on in the pods. They saw each other. They fell for each other. They spent time with each other. I just felt comfortable watching them. Okay, and obviously we know at the end they got married, and I hope they're still together. Next up, we have Bobby and Jasmine. Now, I thought Bobby and Jasmine again were very intentional. I feel like these were two people that took the show seriously, took the process seriously, and really followed like their heart and their mind. Okay. Now, the only obstacle that I could foresee possibly happening is Jasmine's mum. Now, Jasmine's mom, I believe she lives in the Philippines. So she's not always in the UK. I think that's a good thing because she is a very overbearing mum. And Jasmine knew her mum. She knows her mum. That's why she warned Bobby prior to the mum meeting thing. Okay, I don't know the story behind Jasmine's mum, if she's been let down by men before or X, Y, and Z, or how, but it just seems that she wants to be very involved in her daughter's life. But I feel like Jasmine is smart enough to know that if she wants her marriage to work or any real relationship to work, her mum can't get too close to it. Okay. But beautiful couple. I think they really get on. They match each other. He seems like a nice guy. She seems like a nice lady. I'm happy for them. Benaiah and Nicole. I think his name is Benaiah. Please, if I'm saying his name wrong, please correct me. I'm sorry. Okay. Now, they connected in the pods. Nicole picked Sam, sleazy Sam, and literally immediately she knew that this is not. I feel like both of them weren't really attracted to each other, Sam and Nicole, when they first saw each other, but they were kind of doing the motions for the show. But then Nicole, later on decided, a couple of days later, she was like, no, I want Benaiah. Okay. And they ended up living together, like finishing off the process together, and they got married. Okay, I'm happy for them. I feel like they match each other. There's something about the way Benaiah is and the way Nicole is. They just match each other. She seems, I don't know, there was just something, there's something about them that I'm like, I want this to work. Like, they obviously care about each other. They obviously saw something in each other, and I'm just like, yeah. And I feel like Benaiah is a good judge of character because he could see through Sam in the process, and after, and I bet at the reunion he's gonna read him one as well. Now let's get on to the mess. Now, Tom and Maria, unfortunately, spoiler alert, I should have said spoiler alert at the beginning, they didn't end up getting married. And I could see from about 2-3 episodes prior that Tom was not saying yes to this woman, okay? And let me tell you why. Tom, I think for a different reason. Tom, first of all, obviously he was aware that Maria was Moroccan and Muslim. Can I just say something as well? I thought you couldn't say anything about physical appearance or anything like that. But I'm like, surely if someone tells you I'm Moroccan or my family is Moroccan, you know the person ain't white. So I don't know. Please correct me if I'm wrong. It maybe they are allowed, but I just thought they weren't allowed to say anything about what they looked like. And I just thought that was just a big giveaway that she was of her ethnicity. But anyway, now some people are saying, they don't really understand why Maria went on the show because obviously, like, her faith and her culture is important to her. She wanted to uphold that. And obviously coming on a show like Love is Blind, the likelihood that you're going to match with somebody like that isn't high. However, I don't think what she was asking for was that wild. You know, she kind of just said, you know what, I want to stay home with the kids for a little bit before they go to school. I believe that the man is the provider. Like, everything she's saying is not that left field. Obviously, we're in a world now that you know, 50-50 and women's rights and stuff like that. That is fine. But there's still women that are feminists and stuff like that, and they still think, you know, they still have certain parts of traditional view. And I just don't think they really thought it through, you know. Like, for me, what she said, all this stuff about the money, or like the finances and stuff that they did talk about in the pods, about, like, you know, having kids or potentially having kids and da da da. She said that. So I don't see why Tom wasn't sure once they, you know, I don't know. I will say though, obviously I understand that, you know, there's some women that, you know, they believe the man should pay for everything when they're courting and stuff like that, which is fine. But don't offer to pay for something, or say, oh no, I've got it, or let me take this, it's my treat, as a woman, if you're not being, if you're kind of just testing the situation. I don't like when adults test other adults with silly things like this. You know, if you didn't want to pay, or you didn't think that you should be paying, then you shouldn't have offered to pay, because he's taking you up on it, thinking, oh yeah, that looks fine, yeah, fine, you know, and you've obviously been offended by it, or you've obviously felt a way about it. So it's kind of like, I just feel like you guys weren't on the same page. That's all. And it's a shame, but it is what it is. Also, I thought as well, when he saw Tash or Tasha, I think that's more his type, like physically. Okay, and he knows as well, with someone like Tash. I believe it was Tasha like a career woman or something. I don't know, but I just feel like, in terms of how she looked, you know, they're the same culture. I assume both of them are both British but English, you know. So he probably thought, okay, yeah, that's my Ollie and Demi. Listen, I knew it wasn't gonna work from the start. This is not to say Ollie is bad. This is not even to say Demi is bad. But I just don't think their connection was of a romantic type. I think it was a brother and sister friendship vibe. That's the vibe I got when I was watching the show, when they were together. I don't even think they had sex, which obviously doesn't mean you have to have sex, but I felt like when she said she didn't want to get married, it's not that she didn't want to marry him, but she knew that he wasn't all the way in with her. But the type of guy he is, he wasn't going to say, oh, I don't want to be with you. Because at the altar, when she said, you know, I don't think it's not going to work right now, he was like, what? He was surprised, but he was relieved. That was relief on his face. I'm telling you guys now. Yeah, he didn't want to marry her. I think he saw her more as a friend. See how he talked about, was it Charlotte? There was another girl that when the single people came, and the way he spoke about her, he was very attracted to her. I'm not saying he's not attracted to Demi, but he was more attracted to someone like, I think her name was Charlotte. Okay, and he was relieved when he doesn't. That's why he wasn't that upset when she said no. I'm telling you, I know. Last and very least is Freddy and Catherine. I'm sorry, but I think Catherine is so unbearable to watch on TV. I'm not saying she's an evil person. I don't think she is. But I just think, as a 29-year-old, as old as you are, you need to grow up. Okay? Now, Freddy, is he perfect? No, of course he's not. But I just felt that Catherine was using the reason of her being adopted, which I completely understand. I can completely understand that you have abandonment issues, X, Y, and Z. But I just don't think she was really taking this process seriously. She wanted a wedding. She wanted to be married, to be like, oh, I'm married, I've got a ring. But I don't think she's a wife. That's just my personal opinion. I'm just saying that she doesn't give me somebody that is willing to compromise, somebody that's selfless, somebody that has emotional intelligence. She seems very in herself. That's just my personal opinion. And you could see Freddie trying. I feel like there was times he was trying. Obviously, you know, sometimes he came off a bit immature. But my guy he's got a career in his funeral directing. He has his own home. He's working on his home. I just feel like Catherine was just thinking about the materialistic things. There's nothing wrong with that, but I just felt like this is not the type of show to come and do that on. And I didn't feel bad for her when he said he didn't want to marry her. I said what I said.